After freeing the town from a bunch of crazed Mamemon type Digimon, they'd continued on the road and had gotten one of the knights and one of the demon lords to actually agree about something as they did so. Beelzebubmon and Bielstarmon had joined the group, well, for now at least, and they were going to Chiaroscuro next. Trailmon C89 told the Digidestin leader that it would only take about an hour or two to get there. They got to the town of Chiaroscuro, and Nicole thanked C89 for their help, suggesting that they take a rest while they dig up the story of what actually happened there. If they were capable, C89 would have nodded in response to that and said to just call them when needed, vanishing into thin air with the group all outside the car before they did so. Nicole called out to the group saying, "No fighting unless defending yourself. They are here to find out what happened, not hurt anyone." He also said that they would split up to cover more ground, telling Kat and Mastamon to go with Dukemon, while Lucas and Gizamon went with Beelzebubmon. Bielstarmon would go with the Sistermon girls and Panjamon. Dino Tigermon, Kuzahamon, Kulamon, and himself would make up the final team, with Marine Anjamon checking things out from above. Report anything going down to the closest group to wherever anything was going on. Dukemon and Beelzebubmon were actually impressed with Nicole's leadership skills, as he'd had a role for everyone that would be helpful. They did as he said for now, but that's only because it was more important to find out the actual story, while Marine Anjamon flew into the air as the others were asking around the Digimon if they knew anything, but weren't getting much help out of it. Marine Anjamon kept an eye out and noticed someone was trying to hide from the group that were asking questions, and so flew down to Nicole to tell him about what they'd seen, saying that they looked like a big teddy bear, with the leader of the Digidestin nodding, saying they'd keep an eye out, and to let the others know. They did just that while Nicole kept an eye out for the one hiding, and heard cans being knocked over as he'd seen the bear running. He digivolved into Talishatamon and slipped into the shadows so that he could cut them off, appearing out of the shadows as the bear skidded to a stop and turned to keep running, but was cut off by Dino Tigermon and tried down a different alleyway with Panjamon cutting him off next. And they closed in with the bear huddling, holding their head in fear, apologizing, saying, "We didn't mean to. Honest, we didn't mean it," while starting to cry. Nicole contacted Lucas and Kat, saying that they may have found someone that knew what happened and to get over there. They continued apologizing, saying that they were sorry, they didn't mean to do it, they just wanted their friends, This did confuse the group, as Nicole told them no one was going to hurt them, as the rest of the group showed up. The bear looked up slowly at them as Kat asked their name, to which they'd answered Waru Manzemon. Lucas then asked what they meant by wanted their friend, to which Waru Manzemon began to freak out, apologizing again, with Nicole saying no one was going to hurt them. They just needed to know the story of what happened that day. The bear then nodded slowly and began speaking. Waru Manzemon then started telling them what happened that day, telling the group that he was playing with his friends and that they were secretly friends on the Yggdrasil side and that they were also friends on the Mao side. They were just children who wanted to play but were told they weren't allowed to because of the territories there. One day they'd gotten a stupid idea where some of their friends on the Mao side and some on the Yggdrasil side would cross the boundary line at the same time so that it wouldn't count because both sides crossed at the same time. Dukemon said that they wanted to play together, and so the children from Yggdrasil and from Mao both walked over their border at the same time, to which the bear nodded in response. Beelzebubmon asked what happened next, and Waru Manzemon continued speaking, saying that they thought they'd been okay since nothing happened at first, so they kept playing. Then a white Knight Chessmon appeared and tried to attack them, so they all ran. Kuzahamon asked what happened next exactly, and the bear began crying, saying that Knight Chessmon started attacking them and destroying his friend, driving him back over the border, with a black Knight Chessmon appearing there too, and attacking the Yggdrasil side one, and the two began to attack one another, claiming that they've broken the treaty. Nicole nodded and asked for them to finish the story, and the bear continued, telling them that the two Knight Chessmon had destroyed each other, and he'd hid out of the way, but all of his friends were dead. They were dead just because children wanted to play together, and a war broke out, crying harder, asking who would do such a thing just for children playing with their friend. Digimon says he wouldn't have been fighting had he known it all started because children wanted to play together. Falling to their knees, hearing that such a violent act took place, to which Beelzebubmon put a hand on the Royal Knight's shoulder, saying that they wouldn't have done so either. The Mao wouldn't have attacked the children who just wanted to play with their friend. Starmon said that she remembered Knight Chessmon Black. They were only told to find out what happened, and were a relatively nice guy that wouldn't attack children no matter what side they were on. She'd seen that firsthand. Digimon said that Knight Chessmon White had an undying loyalty to Yggdrasil and would carry out their orders without question, but to attack children? Our Digidestined leader's eyes flashed purple again as he'd had a look of bloodlust and spoke, saying Yggdrasil in a tone that was dripping with venom, making everyone look up surprised at him. He told the group, from what he's hearing, Yggdrasil placed the order to eliminate the children for crossing, and the others seemed to agree to that as well.